Camas, Washington is one of the best places to live in Washington. And I'm talking about in the whole state, not just here in Southwest Washington. In this video, we're going to talk all about what it's like to live in Camas, Washington, because if you're thinking of moving to Camas, you've got a lot to know, and I want to help you with it. All right, everybody, are you ready to get started? Let's go. Hey everybody, it's your host here, Dave Baker, with you right now in, you guessed it, downtown Camas, Washington. Now, if it's your first time on the channel, you know what you've got to do. You've got to tap that little subscribe button and click that little bell so that you can learn everything about what it is like to live here, to work here, to play in Camas, to have fun here, and just to make your life out in Camas, Washington. Now, if you're thinking about moving to Camas, Vancouver, Washougal, or anywhere in Southwest Washington, you've got to reach out to me, okay? All you have to do is send me an email, send me a text message, you can give me a call 24/7, all right? And click the link below if you'd like to schedule a call and get on the calendar so the team can start helping you with your move. Okay, let's start talking all about Camas, Washington as we walk through the historic neighborhood. Camas it's one of the best places to live in Washington. I have been to so many cities throughout Washington, from the north to the east to the south. And this one is special. So let's talk about some of the things that make Camas a unique place, and then also talk about some of the other things you should know when you live here. First of all, I want to talk about something that is definitely important to pretty much all of us, and that is jobs. Okay, so what are some of the biggest businesses around here? Well, first of all, there's that big building behind me, and that is the Georgia Pacific paper mill. Okay, obviously there's a huge paper mill here along the river, and Georgia Pacific is going to be one of the big employers. But you've got other companies around here too. Okay, you've got Hewlett-Packard. You've got all of the smaller companies that are starting up and running right now in the Vancouver area, because that's going to be the closest medium-sized city. And from there, you're going to have to cross the river, okay? You're going to have to head into Portland, Beaverton, or Hillsborough on the Oregon side. You have tons of apparel companies. Of course, you've got Nike, you've got Columbia Sportswear, you've got the huge Under Armour complex, you've got an office for Adidas with this really cool shoe outside their building. And then you've also got all those tech companies that are running in Portland. So you have all those choices as well if you're looking for a place to work. Or if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to do your own thing, there's certainly ample office space and co-working spaces, which are really cool. So there is a job scene, but not all of it is here in the Southwest Washington area. Some of it is on the other side of the Columbia River. Okay, let's talk about item number 2. The weather. We always have to talk about the weather wherever you're thinking about moving, because the weather is a big deal for anybody looking at moving to the Pacific Northwest, right? Here's the deal. It's already famous for being gray in the winter. Now, it's only a little bit less sunny today specifically. It's not a gray winter day. What I mean is that there's cloud cover in the winter, and you're going to see that sun blockage, and it's going to last for on and off throughout the winter, okay? Until you enter the spring season. That's no surprise. But it is important to know that the weather is not identical to Portland, Oregon, because people probably think that because of the proximity on the map, but when you cross the river, you're also going to a city that's located on the Columbia River Gorge. So it's going to be a little cooler, it's going to be windier, although I have to say it's not as windy as Washougal right now. And in the case of snow, it's more likely you're going to have some snow. So keep that in mind as well. Next item on the list, let's talk about the traffic. Is there traffic? Barely, if you stay within the neighborhood. If you stay inside of Camas, Washougal, and Vancouver, even if you have to go to Ridgefield or Battleground, there's really not much traffic. The main issue, if you're worried about traffic in this area, is going to be if you have to commute to Portland. Okay, if you have to commute to Portland, there is a rush hour. Is it one of those California rush hours? If you're from California, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these like 3 hours and you can't drive, or when cars don't move. No, it's not like that. I always just tell people about all the times I've been in Portland and wanted to meet someone for dinner in Vancouver. And of course, it's rush hour because for some reason, people always want to meet during the busiest time. Well, if you're driving from Portland in the center, city center, and you have to get to Vancouver, that's about 8 to 10 miles. That can be 30 to 40 minutes depending on the traffic during rush hour. Then you've got to come over here to Camas. You're going to add another 5 or 10 miles. So it's mostly bridge traffic when you're going over the bridges on Highway 5 or 205. Within the city, I don't think traffic is a concern. Tonight is a night when people will probably be eating out, and there's still parking spaces available. There was no traffic. There's very little traffic as compared to other places. I always bring this up for Californians because Californians are thinking about moving to Washington. They're concerned about traffic. They live in this trafficy nightmare. So don't worry about that. I don't consider that a big issue out here. Okay, next, let's talk about the housing prices. Camas is a nicer neighborhood. There's a lot of development. You can see by walking through this downtown here. It's just really pretty here, and it's very clean. And I want to say that the housing prices here are going to be more than the surrounding areas. The housing prices in Camas are generally, on average, more than Vancouver. They are higher than Washougal, and they're higher than Ridgefield. And the average price, I've seen many different reports, so it's a little tough. Because sometimes I'll see a report that says, oh, the average housing price is $430,000. But I don't think that report is kept up, because I've seen a lot of other reports that are saying the average housing price in Camas is over $690,000. And that's because it's a desirable place to live, right? You've got the benefits of Washington, you've got no income tax, and then you also have the benefit of being just outside of Vancouver, so you can have all the fun of Vancouver and all the fun of Portland, but still be here in the city of Camas and enjoy this downtown as well. Additionally, you have some much more expensive homes here in Camas because you could have homes on the Columbia River, which are going to be in excess of $1 million, sometimes $2 million, sometimes more. You also have the homes up on the hill behind me, and those homes are also going to be significantly more expensive because they have views, right? The views are spectacular. Okay, you're talking about views of the Columbia River. It's just amazing. You can see Mount Hood. So imagine this. Let's say you get a home that has all those things, right? You're on the Columbia River. You have a view of Mount Hood. I mean, you have a dock perhaps, right? That's going to really drive up the price of a home. So if you are looking for that type of home, those opportunities are here. There are some beautiful, beautiful neighborhoods. And I've seen newer homes coming in too. And I've seen a lot of remodeling. So, yeah. It's not the kind of place you move to buy a $200,000 house. Let's just get that right out of the way. But with the higher price, you are going to see some really nice homes, nice neighborhoods. And with that, let's just dive into the next topic here that comes with all this stuff. That is going to be safety and education. It's ranked as a safer city as compared to many other cities in Washington and nationwide. When I look at the statistics, I can see that it's safer than a large percentage of the cities in the United States. And also just in Washington in general, it's pretty highly rated. And I think that's a major plus. I know right now a lot of people are looking for places that are very safe. As for the education, obviously we're talking about schools. If you're thinking of moving here with kids, or if you already have kids, there's definitely an ample set of schools. You don't have to worry that your kids are going to have to go on a school bus for an hour to get somewhere. So Camas is a town with about 26,000 people, maybe more, in it, and that means you're going to have your middle schools, you're going to have your elementary schools, you're going to have different school options, high schools, things that you won't have to commute for. And I know that's a factor for a lot of people, especially if you have a family or are thinking about starting one. So, what else can I tell you about Camas that makes it special? Well, it's not just this downtown area. I do love this downtown historic area. That's why I want to take you, walking around here just so you can see some of the fun, lively stuff going on. But it's more than that. Okay, it's its proximity to the Columbia River Gorge. And being so close to the water, being on the water, that's a major plus for a lot of reasons. First of all, it creates, a certain climate, which we've already talked about. It also creates a huge opportunity for fun things to do. So, we got to put that on the list. What is there to do in Camas? There is fun stuff to do. There's entertainment. You have what I just talked about here in the downtown: food, restaurants, shopping, boutiques. You got some like wine bars, other types of entertainment, a theater. But you also have huge opportunity for outdoor activity. The outdoors here is a big deal. In the Pacific Northwest, people love to get outdoors. And if you spend a lot of time here, you probably will too. There's hiking, there's fishing, there's boating. You can go on jet skis and watercraft. You've got different things that you can do because of the proximity to so much great Pacific Northwest outdoors locations, right? You've got 3 lakes here. It's not just Camas Lake. You have other lakes here, other watering holes, if you will, where people go swimming. In fact, in the summer, I went to Camas Lake. There were just so many people out there on stand-up paddle boards. They're having so much fun. Me, I chose to go on a hike because that was my thing. But when I was watching everyone dive in the water, I was thinking, why aren't I in here? This is great. And it's so beautiful. It's easy to access. And that's what I love too. Easy access to outdoor activities. So that's definitely something to keep on the list. You have, of course, the gorge itself, right? And that is going to be the area that takes you east along Highway 84, along 14, through Stevenson, Washington. On the other side of the river, you're going to have Cascade Locks. You've got several bridges that go over. And so you have all of those things inside the gorge, the waterfalls, the outdoor activities. So those are great. One more thing I want to touch on is that you are in good proximity of day trips. Okay, I think that's really awesome. What am I talking about? I'm talking about going east. You can go to Hood River, right? Doesn't mean you have to go windsurfing, by the way, which it's pretty famous for out there, right? Kite surfing and such. But you also have all the breweries, restaurants, just that tourist feel. And what if you go west? Well, on the Washington side, you have that whole peninsula, right? You have so many cute little seaside towns that are just so fun to stop at. You've got beaches, you got all that cool stuff. And if you go south, so if you go, west towards the coast of Washington, you're also going towards the coast of Oregon. That gives you Cannon Beach, right? Think about it. Cannon Beach is right there. It's like maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours away. You've got Lincoln City, you've got Seaside, you've got the Netards, you've got all these cool cities. You've got Manzanita. There's so many places you can go for a day trip or just to spend the weekend. And all of that is really close. And that is why I love Southwest Washington. If you haven't checked out my video about why Vancouver is in a really cool location, make sure that you check out that video as well, which I'll put a link to, because that really applies to here because this city is adjacent to Vancouver. So I really want to hear what you're looking for, by the way, when you're looking at a city to live in, okay? Drop a comment below. Drop me a note. What are you looking for? What do you love? I love the fact that I can take day trips. I love the fact that there's food and entertainment. I love the fact that the schools are in the city. I love the fact that you have shopping and all your services close by. Those are the things I love. And that's just part of the list. But no matter what you love, if you're thinking about moving out here to Camas, Washington, if you're thinking about moving to Washougal, thinking about moving anywhere in Southwest Washington, you've got to reach out to me, okay? Send me an email, send me a text message, give me a call 24/7, okay? Or drop down below and schedule a call with the link and we'll get you on the calendar. And one final note, I do have to bring up something because it comes up in searches and I want to make sure people know about this. There's this question. It's, does Camas, Washington smell because of the Georgia Pacific paper mill? And the answer is no. I'm here right now. I've been here many times. And although that was a problem in the past, that has since been resolved since the pulping no longer occurs here at the paper mill. So that's not something you have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about anymore. You can cross that off your potential con side of your pros and cons list. All right, everybody, I can't wait to see you in the next video. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It means the world to me, and I love to see your comments, and I cannot wait to hear from you. All right, everyone, take care. I'll see you soon.